If something like Tatra has happened today, is it satisfactory?
If something like Tatra has happened, I think it is a call for us, a wake-up call, to start examining other areas where things could have gone wrong.
If Tatra is being described as a scam, is what has happened in the case of this particular case, the armored recovery vehicle, General VK Singh, any less of a scam?
It is same.
Are you saying, do you believe that the government should investigate what has happened?
Absolutely.
And investigate
and
not
especially
just
anything, I think, to do with BEML must be investigated, because you have found one huge fault in it. And if there is a huge fault in it, I'm quite sure that fault line runs all over the place. There is a need to investigate it.
But you see, General Singh, a lot of people will say that we hope that we see the last of all of this once General VK Singh leaves the chair.
It's perfectly fine with me. I was here to do a job. That's what the army taught me. There were certain values to go by. I have gone with it. Somebody else wants to take it forward, most welcome, but I hope, as a person who loves his country, as a person who loves his army, that we ensure such things are rooted out.
General VK Singh, now you have been accused of a lot of things, haven't you? You've been accused of what? Bugging the Defence Minister's office, leaking letters written to the Prime Minister, and you were also accused of plotting a coup. Which one do we pick up first? Because I want to talk to you.
We'll pick up any, because all these imaginative ideas which people have thrown around, I think need to be dealt with, and we can deal with all of them.
Was this, in a sense, a counter campaign to shut you up, essentially to keep you quiet?
It was.
To apply the pressure on you.
It was.
And make sure that you keep quiet till you leave the chair.
It was.
And tell me why you think so.
A story which originates in the month of January.
Which story are we talking of?
I'm talking of what came out in Indian Express.
You're talking about the troop movement story.
Yeah.
And this is the first time, General VK Singh, that you're going to give your side of the story. So
yes.
Please do give it in detail. I think everyone watching Times Now right now is waiting to hear your side.
A story starts in the month of January. It is killed by the end of the month. Any journalist worth his name who looks into it says there's nothing in this. It was normal, regular troop movement that takes place from time to time.
Was it really? Because it spooked the government, apparently.
I don't know if it did.
Okay, anyway, please continue.
And if it did, then somebody must have really blown it out of place to spook people. Okay. But it comes out as a headline, front page, with very respected names in journalism in the month of April. Why does it happen like that? Who asked these gentlemen to come up with this great story?
Why should they be asked?
Why should this story appear?
Why
if it was dead? If the story was dead, if the gentleman in question had asked me, Mr. Shekhar Gupta, I can say this today, Mr. Shekhar Gupta had lunch with me, he asked me the questions. Did he have to ask anybody more than me?
Was it an off-the-record conversation?
Well, he was not recording it, but I'm quite sure there is no journalist in this world who is ever off the record.
You were not quoted in the story?
No, I was not quoted.
Was your side of the story taken?
No. So, I feel that there was an orchestration which was built up. Let's take this great story of bugging.
No, 1 second. You say that Shekhar Gupta met you, had lunch with you and spoke to you about it. What did you tell him and what was the question?
I told him what the facts were. I told him this
On the 15th of January, the mechanized division, they all moved, and this was happening around the time of your court case.
There was no court case. I mean, court case was incidental that it was filed on 16th. If you are moving a para-battalion, I'm sure somebody has given it a thought much earlier. And it is only on that day, to test that unit, somebody has said, okay, move the unit. The unit came to Delhi. It was checked. All mistakes that were committed were docketed, listed, and after 3 days the unit was asked to go back. But in the story you find, they were stopped midway, they were turned around, and they were sent back. What happened to this mech unit? The mech unit was supposed to come like it is supposed to move during operations. It came to an area, it went and spread out into various areas, stayed there in the thick of fog. After 2 days, it went back. So where was this spooking thing? And look at how the story has been written. So what was the agenda? I don't know. But surely there was an agenda in it. And if you look at it, what one has been finding, ever since then, I think when all the journalists must have vented their ire on writers of this story, this great paper of ours, started by run at one time by a great man called Ramnath Goenka, God rest his soul in peace, is picking up everything that it can in which it can project me negatively. The headlines are made in a manner. Why?
Maybe that's your perception.
You read the headlines, please.
That's editorial freedom.
I agree with you. But editorial freedom does not mean that you pick up one man and start putting out headlines, putting out newses, and look at the stories, what they try to put out, the agendas. Communal, casteism, religion, and something against the PM. What more can there be in an agenda? I personally speaking, I don't think that is journalistic freedom.
When you look back in retrospect, do you feel? No, I would slightly disagree with you on that. I feel a newspaper has a right to put out a story that it believes in, but you have a right to your view. If you feel so strongly, you can pick up the phone and speak to the editor and maybe.
Yeah, he's been spoken to a lot of people.
You won't agree on that.
I think he's entitled to what he is doing.
Okay.
He's most welcome. It will all lead to him losing credibility.
General B.K. Singh, that I saw an interview that was done by Mr. Palam Raju, Minister of State for Defence Production, when he was asked about this particular story in a TV interview, when he was asked, and he did admit that the government got spooked when the entire unit of mechanized infantry based in Hisar with its fighting vehicles began moving towards Delhi. My question is that, do you think he's making it up? Because they could have got spooked. A. B. Let me put my questions. A. Do you think he probably got spooked? Secondly, do you feel in retrospect you could have done a little bit more to ensure the government was not spooked? Because on the night of 15-16 January, there was an atmosphere of mistrust and recrimination between you and the government. Surely there was. There was a lot of bitterness between the 30th of December 2011 and the 16th of January 2012, I think, when your case got dismissed in the court. So in that atmosphere, do you think you could have just communicated a little bit more when you look back at it?
I'll put it across differently. The Honorable Rajaraksha Mantri did not say that they were spooked. What he said was that it was a lower functionary who created the alarm. Now, who that lower functionary is, I think the Honorable Rajaraksha Mantri must be knowing very well.
Okay.
And obviously, if somebody creates an alarm, somebody adds mirch and masala to a normal activity that is taking place, somebody starts saying A, B and C and bringing it up in a manner that you start seeing ghosts all over, you will spook people.
What he said in that interview, he admitted that someone in the government may have read too much into the movement of these two key army units.
So there was somebody
would trying to create some confusion in the scenario.
So there was somebody who was adding mirch and masala, somebody who was having delusions of large-scale movements of the army. All that he had to bring up was the required person and find out.
That's my exact question. Do you think there was too much mistrust built in? between the civilian military edifice. I'm
I
now
don't
coming
think
to the
so.
bigger question, General
I
VK
don't
Singh,
think there
that,
was a mistrust between the civilian government
because they also
and
said
the army.
that they accused General VK Singh that the atmosphere that he has created has ruined the relationship between the military and the civilian structures in this country. And all this sort of being spooked story was a reflection of that.
Arnab, if speaking forthrightly, bringing out issues to the fore is something that is going to spoil relations between the civil government and the military, then I lament the very thought of this. I don't think so.
Right.
No government worth the name will ever feel bad if you tell it honestly what is happening. We have done that. If we have brought out certain deficiencies, it has been for the good of the nation and for the good of the army, not a finger on the government.
How was it for you on the morning when you read the story and there were phone calls and suggestions that the army could have been plotting or planning a coup, even the suggestion of that, though the C
I think
word or
it
the
is-
coup word was never used?
I think,
there
I
was,
think
you
it
know,
is most reprehensible. When I read it, I said, this man has gone crazy. And especially when everybody before that had already finished off with this story. And that is why I said, to me it appeared as an agenda in capitals.
Okay, now that's again your point of view. General VK Singh, what were the other accusations of leaking the letter that was written to the Prime Minister?
Arnab, if you write a letter to me, which is top secret, will you leak it? In army, we don't do things like this. It is not our culture. We are not in the nether world outside where people leak first and write later. We have a very well-established system. And that is why, please remember what I said. It is a treasonable act if somebody has leaked it. Let's find out who has done it.